know, it's about 10, 8:15, something like that. We are in Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee. I don't know what you actually call this place. I don't know if it's Middle Tennessee or West Tennessee. I guess it'd be Middle Tennessee. I mean, it's not that far. Yeah, maybe West Tennessee. Middle West Tennessee? Hell, I don't know. Sorry. My early morning. Morning, man. Damn. YouTube must have sent out, ScrewTube must have sent out notifications this morning. So, I'll tell you a funny story real quick before I start yakking. I broke my telephone. I've had the same phone for years and years and years. We got it in 2017. I broke the screen one time since then. Got it fixed. But then this time there was no fix my phone. Like, they couldn't fix it. I mean, it was fucking. So, like, it was to the point where I couldn't use the screen or nothing on. But I'm one of the people, like, I like buying, like, tools and shit that I can use or make money from or whatever, but I don't like spending, I don't like wasting money. So I waited until it was unusable to get another phone. So I get a new phone in the mail, and it's got it a day, and it's broke. So they sent me another phone. And I finally got a case. I won't be breaking my phones anymore. But if I break it, it's going to be breaking the case. But they're listening. Like, so when I set my phone up, watch every move we make, it would baffle your damn mind all the permissions you have to give them to spy on you. They want to know your contact information. So, hold on. They want to know everything. They want to be able to watch everything, have access to your camera, everything. So when it came to my text messages, just out of curiosity, I didn't give them permission to spy on them when I transferred it from one phone to the other. And they didn't transfer it. They wouldn't let the messages transfer. So this becomes a problem now because, number one, I didn't realize it until I set my other phone back to its factory settings. Look, it's not a real scat pack, fake scat pack. I didn't realize until I set my phone back to its factory settings. So the problem is that there was text numbers in there I need from people that are wanting me to do work from them that I no longer have their numbers. So I just spent the last 15 minutes on Facebook trying to find all the people who have messaged me, explain to them how sorry I am, but it doesn't look good because, I done lost your number and it's an electronic device. So I just kind of just give them the short of it. But I have a sneaking suspicion, though, that all this shit, all this data they're collecting and selling about us, that's what they do. They data mine it. So they take whatever you say, whatever you watch, they put it in a little place somewhere, and then they find a way to monetize it down the road. But I have a feeling that things that we have said eventually will come back to bite us, especially as outspoken as I am. I just had a conversation with Trade about his phone. He's got a new Galaxy S22 Ultra. Paying for it. He wanted it. Okay, more power to you. But like I told him, now you are a slave to the system because you didn't pay for it. You should have just paid for it. He owes a couple $100 on it. But you should have just paid for it in full. Like I told him, then if you wake up one day and you don't want to go to work, you don't have to. I said, but I'm not paying for your phone. I gave you a phone. You want a better phone, so you're going to pay for it. And I had to explain to him why now he has to get up and go to work. He doesn't have an option. Also, I explained to him not to use facial recognition, fingerprints. Like, all that shit don't matter when it comes to me because they have all that shit on file for me, everything. But, it comes in, like, say one day they arrest you because of your hate speech and they want to use your phone. It's a lot easier to prove it's your phone when your fingerprints or your face is tied to it, rather than it's not, which I'm sure they can tie your face to it anyway now, just through, like YouTube videos or taking pictures or whatever it is. I've told people years ago that where this phone shit was going when, almost a decade, it's been almost a decade now since my golf ball arrest. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I went to prison over golf balls. And not just like kiddie prison either. Like I was in there with killers and shit. My cellie was doing 30 to life for beating his balls head off off her shoulders with a ball-peen hammer. Look up the case, read about it. It's fucking sick. And like I tell people, there's 10,000 memories I have in my head I don't want. Conversations with Adam Sweet. He's a cool guy, man. Cooler as shit. Like, the coolest people, the people I trust the most in this world besides out here. If I had to pick 10 people that I trust, 5 of them would be murderers. I mean, it's just, I don't know why I don't know, there's something about people that are willing to kill other people that I trust them. I don't know why. I'm trusting with my kid. I'm gonna trust the fuckers with my kids before I would a lot of people out here. But anyway, I had to hear the story about how and why he did it. Was he justified for doing it? In some aspects, yeah, he was. On the other side, maybe he wasn't. Maybe, if somebody commits a crime today, let's just say somebody does something to your child today, and you don't do anything about it. You don't find out about it, or you know about it, you don't do anything about it today. Are you justified in doing something about it tomorrow? That becomes the question when talking about Adam Sweet. If what he told me was true, he was blessed by his grandfather, and his grandmother knew, but she didn't stop it. She didn't leave it to her grandfather. He decides it was time for her to pay for ever saying anything about what his grandfather did to him. And again, they took, just like with the guy that killed Nick. Probably, as you don't know, my old son was murdered in 2019. I spent more time trying to help the guy that killed my son rather than trying to bury in prison the rest of his life. Because what they've done, they took a 25-year-old kid, and I say kid because men are, we're men at 25. I'd done a lot of dumb shit at 25 years old. I mean, dumb shit that you would just be like, oh man, like you're acting like a 10-year-old. That's because I had all that testosterone running through my body and shit, and I was kind of like a 10-year-old in a lot of ways. When they took a 25-year-old kid that had killed 2 people, made a bad decision, he killed 2 people. That's all it was one bad decision. If he did just pick up that gun, or if he just didn't let them come over. His excuse was that he heard on the telephone they were going to rob him. My son's friend was going to rob him. But if that was the case, then you would just told him not to come over. He came up with an excuse. He wouldn't let him in, and he did. So I don't believe that. Another reason I don't believe it is because Nick or his friend had a firearm on them. Nick had firearms, and so if he was going to rob somebody, surely he would have took a gun with him. But the real thing, the story that, from what I understand, and put it together, and I'll get back to what in a second, what they're doing to this guy. From what I gather, Nick's friend owed him money, and so what probably happened is Nick and his friend went over there to buy whatever amount of weed they were going to buy. Nick just happened to be with the guy. It wasn't like Nick was in doing drug deals. I've been with people too before when they've done drug deals, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and then it just happened in front of me. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm not making excuses. I'm saying there's a good possibility of that because Nick's car broke down, which is why he was with the guy, which is why he winded up where he was. It was just by chance. But he probably wanted an ounce of weed or half pound of weed or whatever it was, quarter pound, whatever. And when he handed him the money to the guy said, well, kick rocks because you owe me money. That's kind of what we understand happened. And then the fight started, and he shot the first guy, and then he shot Nick when Nick started, whooping his ass or whatever. Nick started fighting. We do know that happened. But anyway, they took a 25-year-old kid that made a bad decision, or a couple of little bad decisions, and they're creating a killer out of him. If he stays in prison for the 30 years that they gave him, or 23, they give 23 to life. If he stays in prison, there you go, buddy. Yeah, it's okay. Camp McMorris, West Council area, do by red stop sign. That's what they're doing. What they've done is they've taken a 25-year-old kid and they're creating a killer. And if he does all that time, that's what he'll be. He'll be a killer because he will have nothing left to lose at that point. Coming out at 50 years old, damn near 50 years old. And by the time you'll have nobody, everybody will have bailed on him by then. I've seen one person all the time I've done. I've seen one man and woman that were together, after any, lengthy period of time, more than 10 years. I was talking to the guy that had been locked up 2 years longer than I've been alive. He was locked up in 1978. I was born in 1980, and his wife still came and seen him twice a month and answered the phone every time he called. Like, think about the dedication in that. Like, that woman really believes till death do us part. Even though her husband's in prison, has been there for, surely he's got out by now. But goddamn. But anyway, they're spying on everything. They know everything. They can literally map your house out. So I was telling somebody made a post about, oh my God, we went and looked at this dress, and my daughter took a picture of it and sent it to her dad, and we got home, and that same dress came up in a what's right here, so I don't I gotta kind of hurry. But the same dress came up on her phone in an ad. I'm like, listen, woman, I've been telling you, and I have told this person before. I've been telling you since 2013. In 2013, they found a phone I hadn't used in a year. The pictures in that phone, they knew where every picture was taken within 3 feet of where it was taken from. That was in 2013. So think about what they're doing now. They had every text message, everything that they could have, they had it. It was like 4,500 text messages and emails. They knew where I was. They had tracked us from our phones. We had a GPS on the car. Like we are literally there's nothing about us that's not being watched. They can literally map your home out based on who's in that home and how much time they spend in each place. So as an example, let's just say, the way we're doing it now, Trayden spends most of his time at the computer. So they will see that. Then they will see that occasionally he goes to this one spot and he stands there for a minute, or he sits there for a minute, whatever it is. And then everybody goes to that one spot. So they're going to know that's the bathroom. An area where everybody gathers is a common room, like a living room. At nighttime, where your phone doesn't move or isn't being used, that's probably your bedroom. They can literally map your homes out. And they're going to be using this shit. Like when they kick in doors, they're going to have a blueprint of your home, basically, of the layout of your home. So they know how to train to go in there. Just like this. So an example of this is when they killed Bin Laden, right? They had a map of that place, and they got that based off of the cell phone information. That's how they built that home. They built a scale model of it, took that scale model, then built a full life real model, then trained going in this place. That way everybody knew exactly what they were going to do. Like they didn't just train, kicking in doors or clearing houses. They trained to go in this specific place to get this specific person. Russia has liberated Ukraine from the deep state. Not yet, man. Not yet they haven't. So I seen a thing yesterday where there was a news guy doing a story about all these dead Ukrainian children and shit, right? And all these dead Ukrainian men and women. And all these people are laying behind him in body bags. I mean, lined up in body bags, perfectly spaced out rows. And then you see the one person behind him moving. And then you see somebody run over there and try to get the body bag moved back right. And the person set up, you can see him clear as day. It was a fucking live person. They are paying actors to sit in body bags over there. I probably just got my channel lost saying that shit. They'll say it's misinformation. Like, what's going on over there, it's a bunch of propaganda. There's videos of U.S. soldiers, vets that went over there to help, and they're trying to use them as fucking cannon fodder, man. They're trying to use them as sacrificial lambs to push the propaganda. K Griggs, no, I haven't seen it. What's up, Liberty Williams, man? How you doing, buddy? Give me a call when you get a chance, bud. And you're right about that. Anything that says it's a smart device is a spy device. They do. Everything spies on us, and we do, and we all do use it because it makes our life easier. Like I remember a time, so when I was 16, I had a pager, and there wasn't very many people my age like with pagers or cell phones. But I had a pager because my parents lived in Tennessee. Um, I was emancipated. I lived in Ohio, so it was just like a way for my parents to get a hold of me if they needed to right now. At the time, cell phones were still like not very common, and they were really, really expensive. So we're talking like 96. But like I lived in a time where you only communicated through when you got home and you checked your caller ID. I remember caller IDs first coming out. But you know, even but my when me growing up, you communicated that way. So you go home and check your caller ID. So you call them back, say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And you would plan around it, make plans, and to meet people or do whatever. Now we do all that shit driving down the road. It's about convenience, and we all buy into the convenience. What makes our lives easier. Like I genuinely want to get rid of my phone, even though it makes my life easier. But right now, I really can't. If I do, then I'm definitely going to be a slave to the man, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to, go work my slave job and then come home and sit on the couch and then go pay my slave taxes, which I don't get this. Actually, I don't think I've ever even sat on our couch since we've been here. Yeah, I did. I watched a movie with Silas and Christy and Traden. Other than that, I don't think I've ever sat on the couch in there. Maybe just put my shoes on, but I've never just sat down and chill. But the whole Ukraine Russia thing, people need to step back away from that shit, man. Like I get it, but who's the bad guy in that situation? I mean, you have a country that we have been told, a country that has never directly harmed us, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong. Very possible. Maybe I'm forgetting something or something I don't know about, whatever. Versus a country that stood with Nazis in World War II and fought with them, fought us at the end of World War II, who then allowed SS soldiers to escape to their country to live there. I mean, there's legit in you know what I mean, legit NAZI dot eyes living there. Even that part of their military is that. So what do? You have Obama who admits that they put that dickhead in office over there. He was an actor who, by chance, just happened to pretend to be in this TV show that he was the Ukrainian president. Why they do that? Because he's already associated with that position, even though it was a TV show. He's also Jewish. So what does he do? He takes political power, becomes a dictator. They call it a free and fair election, and then he gets rid of what they call the far right from any political party in that country. Yeah, I tell you what, man, I'd love to have one of them. I had one of the big box pagers that told you like the weather and shit. It's the big Motorola's, one of the big bastards. I started out with one of the little dinky fucking, you know, transparent red ones that used to get taken from me all the time at school. My school days were funny. My high school days were a trip because like I was my own parent. I was legally emancipated, so like they would start talking crazy or something. Be like, go to the office. I'm like, all right, cool. I go to the office and be like, I'm leaving. And sign myself out and leave. They would always try to stop me. Shit, like you can't do that. I'd be like, yeah, okay, you got to call the cops or whatever. Or they take my hat or something stupid. It got to the point where they just didn't mess with me anymore. But like I'm no different now than I was then. Like I've always had an issue with people believing they had some this imaginary authority to tell me what to do. When I'm not bothering nobody, me wearing a hat in the hallway doesn't bother anybody. Me having a pager, as long as it's not going off in class, isn't bothering anybody. And it was always on vibration. But they see it, they would take it. Now you go to school and everybody's got if your kid ain't got a cell phone, It's a problem. Now kids like they don't even they can't even add. They don't even teach them how to do anything. Like on our kids' homeschool shit, they encourage them to use calculators for everything, and it's been detrimental to my son, especially my 15-year-old. My 15-year-old, like I'd be like, "What's 9 times 7?" Like you should know that by 15. You should have it burnt in your brain. But the problem is he no longer writes anything down. And I try to tell him if you write it down, you'll remember it. Use notepad and pen. And I go in there and he's using a notepad and pen. I come outside of work and I go back in there and he's not using a notepad and pen. So it's my fault. 100% is my fault. I'm not saying it's the school's fault or the online schools or whatever. But even at regular schools, they're encouraging these kids to have phones now. If they don't have a phone, like they're walking around holding their cell phones, playing on Facebook and shit in math class. Our kids are being dumbed down. There's a reason why the 1%, look at any photo of the 1% in their families, anywhere, in any place. Never see their kids with a camera. Ever. Never see it with a camera. Christy said she's seen a big ass, she said it was a wolf. There ain't no damn wolves around here. Somebody's dog was out here this morning. She came out and started the truck up. I said, "Did you kick it?" She said, "No, I was scared." They they took the dogs out, and I go walking out to get in the truck, and Christy's got an axe in her hand. I was like, "You got two dogs right there. What the hell you need an axe for? Do you think those dogs are going to let that dog get close to you? They want to eat that bitch alive. They won't even let people get close to you." Which I'm proud to say, we got Diesel. So we got Nova to let Paul kind of pet her a little bit and play with her more than one day, multiple times. But Travis was brave enough to take on Diesel, and we, and we got Diesel. He was able to pet Diesel, which I couldn't believe. So it's a process, but we got to get them where they at least won't eat everybody. I don't have a problem with eating some people. I got a problem with them barking all the time, which is annoying as fuck, and eating people. But the propaganda is real, man, and they tailor the propaganda to you by spying on you. They will, whether it be, through what videos you watch, and they tailor whatever ad they play for you, um, whatever it is. Like you are being manipulated. All of us are, even me. Or at least they're trying to. I'm pretty headstrong though, so um, I don't know how well they're going to. I keep hearing something. We're hearing all kinds of weird shit out here the past couple of days. I was hoping it wouldn't rain the next few days, but looks like it's going to rain all night. But we got 4 inches and 6 inches of snow the other day. I don't know how much it was. I never looked. I think it was closer to 6 inches though. It was a lot. Then the very next day it was like 60 degrees. Like you can't make this shit up. I don't remember weather being like this when I was younger. I don't remember weather being like this 10 years ago. So things are changing, and they're not changing for the better. I am going to start trying to be more positive, though. I've realized that I'm just a negative Nancy all the time. I'm never optimistic. I'm always just pessimistic. I'm going to try to change some of that. Now, some of it's just not. I just can't do it. There's my kid. Whatever he wants, he should be doing schoolwork. Um, but I'm going to try a little bit. And I'm really going to try to quit cussing. So you guys got it. I need help with it. Call me out on it when I cuss. I don't give a fuck. So that part won't. We got to come up with a way. You can come down here with my ass. I don't understand all the flags and emojis and shit. I hate emojis. I mean, like I despise emojis. Despise them. I have like my feeling is if you use emojis, you probably squat when you pee or sit when you pee if you're a male. Well, I don't think that there is no justice. There's no justice in this country today. There's only oppression and bullying. There's no such thing as justice. Not today. Not in this country. Not in this world. We've even when people commit crimes, we've all become accustomed to saying, They're paying their debt to society. Well, the man that killed my son doesn't owe a debt to society. He owes a debt to my son's family. So he owes a debt to me. But right now he's probably in Lebanon, in Ohio, stamping license plates, making 17 cents an hour, making millions of dollars for the state. Because slavery was made legal through the 13th Amendment. People believe that the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Well, the 14th Amendment. I'm sorry. Lincoln didn't free any slaves. He made us all slaves. And he did it through legality. And legality has nothing to do with constitutionality. But we've all been lied to. The amendment process has been used to expand government when it was only meant to be used to expand the liberty for the people. Nobody wants to do anything about it. Everybody would rather point fingers and continue to buy into the bullshit. These idiots will look at government and be like, "You're a liar," and then look at me and be like, "And we've been told is a lie. Everything we think is normal isn't. Um, freedom isn't, you know, told what you can do. That's called slavery. Slaves in the 1840s were free to do as they were told, and so are you. I want to be free to do as I choose. It's never, in order for it to happen in today's world, you have to be what they call a criminal. Um, but you shouldn't have to be. There's people. I know somebody that totally, like for real, totally um, said, "Fuck it, I'm not listening to them. I'm doing what I want." And they've done what they want, and they've hit it. Can't tell you what they've done. It's nothing bad. Nobody's been harmed or anything. Nobody's property's been harmed. It's just things that they do. And if they're ever caught for any reason, if the neighbor ever calls the cops and says, "Oh my God, there's a BOMB at so and so's house," they will come kick in the door and or say if somebody calls and says somebody's been killed. I mean, look what's happened to Tim Pool. That dude's been swatted like 15 times now. Not that many, but he's been swatted like 5 times now. And then yesterday, the bomb squad shows up because somebody called. They will kill you over a phone call. If somebody calls them fuckers and says something, they will come to your door and kill you to enter your home. It's crazy. Like, it's complete insanity. But we all just accept it as, it's just how it's supposed to be. And nobody's willing to sacrifice anything to change it. It's sad, man. It's sad. I can't look my kids in the eye and be like I did nothing. They have no. That my 15-year-old was pissed when we moved down here. I mean, he was pissed. He did not want to leave Ohio. And I just kind of told him, like, trading, like, look, bud, I have to make the best decisions I can for you, and you will have more opportunity to be free here than you will in Ohio. That's all it's about. All the conveniences were in Ohio. It was way more convenient to live there. Way less work to live there. Actually, it wasn't even that much more expensive to live there. Maybe $200 more a month. And look what we have. Like we live in a literal crack house right now. We had a decent 4-bedroom home in Ohio. We could have put a little garden out back and done whatever. Um, but I was Silas. I kept telling Silas about when I was a kid. I just hopped on my 4-wheeler and told my parents to see you, and I'd be gone for the day. And that's what he wants to do. That's like his dream to be able to just ride his 4-wheeler all day without coming home, which I have no problems with. Christy gets freakish when she don't hear him drive by the house every 30 minutes or so. But I had to do what was best for them in my mind, and that was which was trade. You got to kind of force him to do things, but it's he's 15, so I should have about a year to change something in him. And if I don't, then it's on me. Hopefully, at least I can teach him enough to where he can grow up and be a productive. I don't even want to say that. That's not what I meant. I meant he can be successful in his own life. And money doesn't make you successful, man. Money's nice. It makes shit easier, but it doesn't make you happy. It really doesn't. And somebody said to my kid about 2 or 3 months ago when I was standing in front of him. Silas said that. He said, money doesn't make you happy. Money doesn't buy happiness. And the guy said, only poor people say that. And I'm thinking, well, I told my son that. And although I am poor right now, like I'm legit poor right now. I'm definitely in the low 10% of the population right now, or 5%, probably less than that. Um, that guy has no moral compass or principles. His only principle is money, and money doesn't make you happy, man. You make you happy. I can be happy anywhere. It's just about I just want to be left alone. I think that's all any of us want. So I guess it's time to change the plan up, and you know communities are never going to happen. So how do we live free, as spread out as we are? We don't. It's never going to happen. So we might as well just look our kids in the face, tell them we hate them, and go on with our slave life. Keep paying the king's ransom and all this taxation. You work so they can redistribute your wealth and then line their pockets on top of it. And it's sickening, man. It's sickening that we have a system that's so corrupt and foul, and people still support it. They find their position to support it. Like if something is that foul and you know it is, you can't support any of it. I don't know. Just wish things were different. But they're not. Anybody want to cut some trees down? I think we're going to have a chainsaw party here in a couple of weeks. Really, we need to have it like this week, but in a couple of weeks, we have like literally 200 trees that we need to get rid of. We need to get them cut up. We need to build something to stack all the wood underneath, though. So I haven't figured out how we're going to do that yet, but we're going to. But I can make a badass kiln out of a Conex container. Matter of fact, I know I could. Anyway, I got to run, y'all. You guys stay safe and have a great day. And I don't know. I don't know what your all's position is on things. I demand to be left alone at this point. Um, I just demand to be left alone. I'm sick of all of it. I got to go to court next month for, which I need to find out where I got to go to court. I know what day it is. I just got to find out where. For that speeding ticket I got. Oddly enough, I haven't gotten any more speeding tickets. Weird. I don't drive any different. I was going like 62 that day. I was not doing 70. He said I was. So. And my phone says I'm going like, my speedometer says 62. It says I'm doing, 65 or whatever. I'm not saying I wasn't speeding because I definitely was. The speed limit was 55, but I wasn't doing 15 over. That's for damn sure. Fucking bastards. And like those dudes, they take an oath to something they don't even understand. That dude said on video, he knew I was videoing him. He's like, I ain't got no idea what you're talking about. When I was talking about the redcoats, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how do you not have any idea what I'm talking about, man? Like, you didn't pay attention in third grade history class? Because I think that's when they taught that. There's a big old fat squirrel. Too bad. So if you eat them, there won't be more squirrels running around. But we got some fat rabbits here, that's for sure. Travis and I see some huge ass rabbit tracks in the snow when we was walking around the property. Well, we walked this property. It took us 8.5 hours over 2 days. And then he came. He came here. He's seen it, but we didn't walk my property. It took us 8.5 hours to walk the perimeter of his property. So he came over here, and I felt really stupid, like walking him on this property because it's so small compared to that. It's like 348 acres or something. This little 12 acres took us like 15 minutes to walk. It was kind of embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing when people pull in here because it looks like we're like first class white trash. You know what I mean? Like it really does. We got a stove sitting out here under a tarp, a four wheeler half torn apart under a tarp, a broken down PT Cruiser, a camper that we're halfway living in, a house that we're halfway living in. Desk, metal, and stoves laying outside. Gas cans, tires, LP tanks, uh, foolers that are stripped down, empty, big propane tanks. It looks like first class white trash, man. Oh, it's funny as shit. But it looks better than what it did when we got here anyway. And it's getting better. It just takes time, man. It's really time consuming. Actually, I'm gonna go here. I got something to do. So y'all stay safe. Have a great day. Stay armed, and